we weren't good enough. From minute 1 to minute 90, we were beaten by a better team. We were slow, lethargic. We didn't have any spark. And I just said to the players then, we have to work out why that is, because in Portland, we were the complete opposite. The Rain have been played in Chicago on Sunday, travelled back to Seattle, travelled here, and we look like the team that's done that, not them. So there's something not right. So I just said to the players then, I think we need their input on why that is, because it's important we solve it, and we solve it quickly. Because tactics are pointless if you don't execute them, and we didn't even get close to executing them.
Just kind of that couple minutes where they scored, just kind of within, was it just, did you sense maybe after the first one that things got worse and that led to the second one at all, or?
I'm a very superstitious, get really involved in how the feeling is. I knew before the game. In the warm-up, pre-game, we just didn't have that spark about us. And from kickoff, I think we played out from the back a couple of times, gave away a corner, gave it away, and this game's a lot about mentality as much as it is about physicality and tactics and all that stuff. And I think we often set the tone really well in games. Doesn't matter if you score or not, but set the tone. And we didn't. They did. We didn't. And we never recovered from that, I don't think.
Coach, you guys have like a bye week next week, right? Where you're not playing. Is that maybe an opportunity for you guys to kind of find some of those answers that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I think first things first, we need to have a breather. I said to this group before the game, they have dug in and worked really hard while the World Cup players have been away. And I believe that the amount of work that they've put in deserved a performance tonight to show those World Cup players what they need to bring to come back into this team. Unfortunately, we didn't match that. But I also did say to the players after Portland, the standard that they set from a mentality perspective, physicality perspective, our work rate and our attitude to defend in Portland, I was not going to let us drop below that without holding them accountable if they did. Well, this week we dropped way, way below that. And we have to solve it. And we can't do that in Portland one week and then come here and show what we did tonight. So I'm a very open, honest, want the players' input on what that is. I'm a true believer of sports science, but sometimes players react differently to that. So I think we have to look at it, because Portland's a one-off game. Orlando, we were like it. Sky Blue, we were like it. Washington away, we were like it. Tonight, we were like it. So we've had 1 in 5 where we've actually physically performed. So there's something not right.
Vera was a really big spark there for
Yep.
Just kind of curious her status and kind of when you hope to get her back, maybe.
She was close to this game. I think if this had been on Sunday, we'd have probably had a chance of her being on the field. So I think, obviously, if all goes well and she reacts well to everything else over the next week or so, then there's a really good chance that she'll be available for the Sky Blue game. That's the plan. Is she'll be available for the next game. I think, obviously, with Vero, it's worked out really well that we've got a break next week for her. 1, because of her injury. 2, she had, before we even signed her, we knew she was committed to going to the World Cup for the semis and the final. So it's worked out pretty well that we don't have games next week. And yeah, I think the players need a little break. I think she needs a little break. I think we need to refresh, refocus again in preparation for a tough stretch that we've got coming up in July and August.
We've seen a couple of posts online about Samantha Johnson retiring. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, this is Sam Johnson's last game. Me and Sam had a conversation in pre-season where she decided that she wanted to look at something different than football. So we sought out to try and find a replacement for her in pre-season. And to give her a load of credit, we just couldn't find someone of her calibre in such short notice. So 3 weeks on from our first conversation, we sat down again and she said, I'm not going to leave this team in the lurch. I'm going to make sure that you have me until you don't need me. And we agreed on this game. So the players have known for 2 months, maybe. So we kept it pretty quiet, which was good until today. And, you know, I want to go on record to say that she didn't have to do that. She could have walked away because she wanted to. Mentally, she felt like it was the right time for her. But she stuck with it. She stuck with us. And I think she's been one of our most consistent players throughout this really tough period without our players. So we want to thank her for that. And we wish her all the best in whatever her next endeavour is, which I have no idea what she'll do.
Coach, I wasn't going to ask about that, but yeah, so can I follow up on that, please? Knowing that this is going to be Sam's last game, do you think that maybe that had something to do with kind of the way that you guys came out at all?
No, not at all. I think if it was going to be anything to do with this being Sam's game, it would be the opposite. She's so popular in the locker room. They even, you know, they come in their business casual or whatever it is to the games. And tonight was come dressed as Sam Johnson. So she's someone that they admire. They appreciate that what she's given to this team in this period. And for me, I thought it would be a spark for them, but it just wasn't. So yeah, unfortunate that this is her last game and it ends like this, because I think her career deserves more than that. She's been in this league since the first year and been phenomenal for Chicago and both ourselves. And yeah, I'm disappointed for her that this is her last game.
Anything else?
Just curious. She said she wouldn't leave until you had it filled. Who's going to fill those big shoes?
Rachel, Becky.
Okay.
Those guys. She made it really clear to Gabby that her number one job was to get Gabby ready for when she left. And I think she's done a pretty good job of that. I think her and Gabby have been very good in this period. So she leaves with, obviously, Rach and Becky coming back. I doubt we'll have Becky for the Sky Blue game, but Rach coming back. And, yeah, she leaves Gabby in a really good spot. I think Gabby's been excellent for us, so pleased for her.
Was that Sam's decision to keep it quiet until sort of the end, or was that something
Yeah.
you guys as a club decided?
Yeah, she actually didn't really want anyone to know, actually. And then it sort of got to a point where I was like, look, I think we need to tell the players, because I think that they will appreciate it, you know, I think they'll appreciate it. So we did that. And yeah, I think she handled it brilliantly. I think as a club we handled it brilliantly, to keep it quiet. And, you know, the club wanted to make a big deal out of it pre-game and she wouldn't let them. She didn't want it to be about her tonight, so that says a lot about her. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm disappointed for her that she goes out this way. I think she deserves more than that. But I'm also glad that we were able to do what we wanted to do for Jono in the right way.